Hello everyone, this is Wayofftrail with Start Gaming, and today we're trying something new called Don't Name the Same Pokemon. That's just the name I came up for it. Why not? I've taken this idea from
a really long title.
I know. I've taken the idea from some other YouTubers that did something similar. So it's not fully my own idea, but I, did something different with it. But I have three guests here joining me today to compete. First off, I have, as you already heard, Zantok there in the back. Hello.
Hey, they keep me tied up here.
Yeah, he kind of can't get away.
I like it.
Also joining me happens to be my brother, Electriking. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
And joining us also is Protip.
Hey.
And so these three are going to be competing to not name the same Pokemon. Now, here's how the game's going to work. I'm going to give them a category, and they have to name a Pokemon that fits within that category. If they say the same Pokemon, they both get a strike. However, if they say the same Pokemon that I say, they get 2 strikes. Whoever at the end has the least amount of strikes is our winner. And I should probably keep track of that because, as what the host would do. So, yeah. And there's a few other random things in there. There might not necessarily be some categories that have Pokemon as answers. You might have to come up with something else Pokemon related. So, it'll be interesting. All right. So we're going to get started. And, some of them will be more general. Some will be more specific. I figured let's start super general, where there's only about 1,025 different possible answers. Name a Pokemon. So how they have to submit their answers, they're going to Discord me an answer, and then I will call each of them to share what they said. All right? So you all may send me a Pokemon. Any Pokemon. I'm trying to write with my pen, and it's not cooperating with me right now. Oh my gosh, all my pens are dead. This is great.
Ready to be prepared, Teach.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, alright, I think I got 3 answers. Let's start with, I introduced Protip last. You know what, Protip, why don't you start us off this time? What Pokemon did you name?
I picked one that I just don't think anyone else is going to name because it feels kind of boring, and that's Bayleaf.
Bayleaf Fair is pretty boring.
Bayleaf sucks.
Alright.
Like the human wizard of Pokemon World.
Alright. Electriking, who did you name?
I just picked a random one. Beedrill.
Beedrill. Okay, both starting with B. Interesting. And Zantok, what is your Pokemon that you named?
I went with a modern day absolute goober, and that would be Orthworm.
Orthworm. Alright, none of them said the same, but let's see if any of them said the same as me. And I maybe was trying to hit one of you. I said Cubone.
Oh, yeah, Cubone.
I'm smarter than that, bitch!
I maybe tried to hit
Come on.
Zantok on the first one. That, it's his favorite. I thought maybe if I was to get somebody with one cheeky one, it'd be this one, where there was 1,000+ answers to pick. All right.
I can never say Cubone, you asshole.
Correct. Cubone can no longer be used as an answer the rest of the time. So,
That's funny.
yeah, got him.
That's
All right.
going to be named an electric type, isn't it?
No, that'd be silly. All right. So, that being said, hey, you're all still tied for the lead. No one has got a strike yet. Good job. All right, but let's get a little more specific, just a little bit. Why don't you name me a fossil Pokemon? A Pokemon that comes from a fossil.
Ooh, I gotta think here.
Yeah. It could be in case of the fossil Pokemon, it could be their first form, it could be their second form. Your choice.
But
That's alright. You know what, let's, Zantok, why don't you go first this time? Who did you submit?
I submitted Arctovish.
Arctovish, one of those hybrid, or mixed up fusion ones. Alright, Electriking, who did you submit?
Kabuto.
Kabuto! And Protip.
I went with a guy who, honestly, I think looks real dumb, but, trying to go for non-obvious choices, so I went with Cranidos.
Ooh, alright, all 3 different again. Let's see if you pick something I picked. None of you did. I picked Tyrantrum.
So that one's cool. So I didn't pick it.
Yeah, I thought maybe I'd get somebody. Who knows? All right, still no
More
one.
than that.
No one's got a strike. No one's got a strike. All right, all right. However, this time I don't want a Pokemon. I would like a type. Pick a type. That slims it down a little bit more. So some of
I'm
the
a little worried here.
as we're going through some of these, there will be some that are very very specific. Some that'll be very general. It'll kind of be a mix between them. All right, I think we almost have everybody in. There we go. We do now. Electriking, what did you submit?
I said rock type.
Rock type.
Oh, thank God.
Was that what you
I almost did.
almost did? So what did you do instead?
Bug.
Bug type. All right,
was
pro
right.
tip. Did you tie with any of them?
No, once again I'm going the like who would ever pick this shit route. Now at normal type.
Normal type. All right, all right.
I think you picked bug type, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
I do like
Or
my
ghost.
I do like my buggies. But I chose steel type.
Oh.
It's another like who the hell would pick that?
And that, you know, I thought, I'm like, you know what? I'll pick steel. Try it out.
That's
I was
why I picked
thinking-
rock. I'm like, who's gonna pick rock?
I was thinking you were gonna like reverse psychology because you just asked about fossils. And so, what's the first type we're gonna think of? Rock, maybe steel, maybe water.
You know. I also, you know, tried to change them up. You know, you never know what I'm going to say. All right, so far, we're all doing great. However, I need you to name me a psychic type. Name me a psychic type Pokemon. All right, I have our people in here. Protip, why don't you start?
I'm going with Kadabra.
Kadabra, Gen 1. All right, Zantok, who'd you pick?
Gothita.
Gothita and Electriking. Who is your choice?
Ball toy.
Baltoy. Okay, again, you're all over the place. I, however, chose Ralts. Little bitty Ralts.
Nice.
I thought someone might choose Gardevoir, and I was like, maybe they'll be like, no, I'm going to switch to Ralts. Just to be not Gardevoir. That was kind of my thinking there.
Not a Gardevoir fan.
Yeah, you know, I thought someone would say it, though, because it's a pretty common psychic type. All right, so far everyone's doing really, really well. I'm really hoping that falls away here soon. Name a cat Pokemon. Name a Pokemon that is a cat.
No, wait, what were you called? Yes.
Now I gotta try and remember what I said. There are quite a lot of cat options.
Aren't the evolutions considered cats?
I would not consider them cats.
That's a whole debate.
Yeah, but I would not.
We're going to have to pick an evolution later on.
What? Oh. Ooh. Interesting pro tip. Do I count that one?
You want me to change it?
I do. I'm gonna say go more cat. More cat.
I was wondering if big cats would be allowed.
He said Mew. And
Oh.
I mean, it's in the name, but
yeah, there's a lot that are more cat, you know.
yeah,
If there
that's
wasn't
fair.
if there wasn't as many that are pure cat, I'd be like, yeah, sure, go for it. Okay. All right, since I already kind of called you out, who did you switch to from Mew?
Instead, I'm going with Weed Cat Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. All right, let's go Electriking. Who'd you pick?
Delcatty.
Delcatty. And Zantok.
Purloin.
Purloin. All right. I picked Pure Ugly.
Ooh, close
Ooh.
one.
I was so close to getting Zantok there.
I was thinking about Purugly at one point.
Dang it. Almost had ya. And I also chose the old sprite for it just because. Why not? It's an ugly cat. Yeah, there's a lot of cats. There's a lot of cat Pokemon. All right, let's go a little more specific. Name a Gen 2 legendary. Give me a Gen 2 Legendary. We kind of had some pretty general ones. This one's a little more specific. There's not as many options.
No, I forget. Are we differentiating between mythics and legendaries? I don't even remember what the difference
They
is.
have to be a legendary, not a mythic in this case.
So Celebi is a mythic. We only have the birds and the dogs.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I forget what
Well,
actually.
and
differentiates the
Lugia
category.
and Ho-Oh. Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
bird.
those are the birds. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not a ton of options here.
There's only 5.
So at this point, y'all been doing well. I'm really hoping that we start getting some strikes here. Really want you
If we
guys.
don't this round, the fuck.
Right, I would be shocked. All right. Let's start with Electriking. Why don't you start us off this round?
No, I went with the electric type, baby. Raikou.
Raikou. Now, if I knew that this was, you playing this, would I pick Raikou? Ooh. Zantok, why don't you go next? Who'd you pick? Did you pick Raikou?
I considered it. I was like, nah. Electriking is here. We're going with Suicune.
Suicune. Protip, who'd you pick?
Picked one that I'm sure no one else would pick. I picked Suicune.
Oh, there's our first strikes.
Come on, Mikey. Pick
So now,
pick Suicune.
if I pick
Let me take the
Suicune,
lead.
you have the lead right now. They both have a strike now. So Electriking is winning. So if I picked Suicune, they both get 2 additional strikes. So that could put Electriking in quite a lead, or I can put him right back in last place if I picked Raikou.
Please.
All right, let's see. Who did I pick? I also picked Suicune.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, just like that.
Off. Fix that.
Oh yeah, that is weird. I think the picture must have covered it. It's fine. Yeah, I also picked Suicune. I actually thought Electriking would not pick Raikou, so I went away from it and picked Suicune as well. I'm surprised there was no Entei pick.
Tried and true.
Oh wow. Well, wow, Electriking, you have now skyrocketed into the lead.
So that's a big hurdle to overcome where we've been tied up till that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not anymore, bitches.
And we have a in the lead champion. All right. Moving on from our first strikes. Give me a Pika clone. So Pikachu does not
some debate
count
here.
in this particular category because he is not a clone. And I would also not count Pichu or Raichu because they're not clones. They're part of that Evo line.
There's debate about if this one counts, so I'm gonna throw you
send
one.
it and I'll see if it can count. I would allow that one.
Okay.
Mine fine.
Yours is fine.
And that scares me because I think I'm fucked.
We will find out whether that is true or not. All right, I have one from each of you. You know what? Electriking, since you are currently our leader, why don't you tell us who you picked first?
Big Minen.
Minen. All right, Protip, who did you pick?
I went with Deden.
All right, Dene and Zantok.
I considered both of those, but I went to Mimikyu.
Mimikyu. All
Oh,
right.
he's gonna pick
Mimikyu was the
Mimikyu,
obvious
though.
choice. I didn't go with that one.
What'd you say, Protip?
I thought Mimikyu was the obvious choice, and I think it's the one that you probably were more likely to pick.
What? I feel
Yeah,
hurt
that's
that
the one
you
that I
guys
thought you would pick too.
say these things, these mean things about me. Just because I like my ghost types doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to pick them for every time they pop up.
Yeah, they're too predictable, guys. Come on now.
I did
Yeah,
pick
there it
Mimikyu,
is. Yeah.
though. I may have picked Mimikyu. Zantok takes 2 more strikes, plummeting into last place in 2 rounds.
You know
Ooh.
what? Win or lose, I'm still the bigger Pokemon nerd, so fuck all y'all.
I may have picked Mimikyu, okay? I like him. He's awesome.
No, he is.
He's so cute. All right. Wow, we went from having quite the tie to now having a clear first, second, and third. All right. However, I decided to see what you guys would pick. Name a ghost type. Now, here's the thing. Mimikyu is no longer an option to pick. You cannot pick Mimikyu. I decided to make my favorite type be a category this time. Ooh, all right, some interesting ones. Zantok, why don't you start?
I went with Annihilate.
Annihilate, one of the new Gen 9s.
That's a good one.
Protip, who did you go with?
I went with one that I actually really like this time, playing a different game, and if I suffer for it, it's worth it. I'm going with Cerulege.
Cerulege. Both of those are really
Also
cool.
Really
Both
cool.
new ghost types and both some of my... They're cool ones. They're good ones. And Electriking, who did you pick?
I picked Shuppet. I didn't think anybody else would pick Shuppet.
That's
That's a good
fair.
call, actually.
Shuppet's not, known for being a most famous ghost type. I will say, one of yours I almost picked as the one I put up there, but I didn't. I went with Pumpkaboo.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Good choice. Good choice.
I almost
Did
did
you
Cerulege.
Yes.
I almost did. I was like, I think no one's going to pick it because it's too popular. So I did not pick Cerulege.
I was prepared to suffer for that one. I was
You
like,
know-
it's too cool.
That is a pretty sick Pokemon. All right, I'm giving you one that only has 4 options. Name a Squawkabilly color. And I bet at least one of you is maybe looking up what Squawkabilly is.
Yep.
I knew it.
I knew what it was, but I didn't know what colors it came in.
There's no point in strategizing this. Only 4 things.
I had to throw a few in there where we, maybe get some strikes going. We had a while where there were no strikes, and that was just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
All
I mean,
right.
those kind of designed that way.
Let's go pro tip. Why don't you start us off this time?
Starting with white.
White is the most rare of the Squawkabilly colors.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, it is.
Hope that threw in this round as well.
Yeah, Electriking, which Squawkabilly did you pick?
Green.
Well, shocker there. And
Yeah.
Zantok, what did you pick? There isn't a red
Yellow.
Squawkabilly. Yellow.
Yellow.
All 3, no strikes at the moment. That's impressive. Now, the only one that wasn't said is blue. So if I picked blue, you guys managed to squeak by no strikes, which would be impressive. And you somehow did.
Hey.
I picked the blue Squawkabilly. I am
Go.
shocked.
Go team.
I can't believe
we
that.
regardless of anything else, we just won collectively. Great
Right.
work.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
good
no,
thing.
no.
Not you, way off.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Hey,
Yeah.
3 votes.
Hey,
Good work.
not collectively, but who's in first? Can we
You want to know one of the main reasons I picked the blue one?
What?
When I was looking for Squawkabilly on Google, it had the best one that I didn't have to crop. So it won.
Why would you not just use Bulbapedia, dumbass?
Well, no, if you want to paste without the background, you have to have the right ones, and so this one was already ready to go. So I was like, oh,
He has them all in transparent images, dude.
yeah, but this one was fine. It's fine. All right, name a first stage starter.
What does that mean?
It's name a starter.
Their base form. So not their evolutions.
So, you couldn't choose Blastoise.
Correct, but Squirtle
You
would
have
be
to
an
use,
option.
what Squirtle would be. An
Yeah. Waiting on one lone answer. There we go.
Wait, hold on. I'm changing mine.
Oh, we got to change before fully submitted.
That's some Monty Hall shit right
That
there.
is. All right.
Hole.
Because you switch, I'm gonna save you for last then. All right, let's go with pro tip. Why don't you go first this time?
After, deliberating a few times, I decided to just go with my first thought, which was Bulbasaur.
All right. Zantok, why don't you go?
After somebody trash talked Bailey further, I figured, okay, nobody's probably going to say Chikorita, so I'll say Chikorita.
So far,
Let's do it.
2 grass starters. All right, Electriking, who did you originally pick and then switch to?
I originally picked Squirtle and then I switched to Bulbasaur.
Beautiful.
All right, so that's a strike for Electriking and Pro Tip, both picking Bulbasaur, all locking in grass types. Interesting.
Nobody likes grass types.
Right, we all secretly hate
This
grass
is-
type.
Right.
Fuck all you. I like grass types. I like the grass starters.
I also chose a grass type, but a different one.
And I switched from. I was about to type Rowlet, and then I was like, nah, he's too pickable.
I love
I'm going
Rowlet. He's so cute. He's my
So I
favorite.
still made a better choice because Rowlet would have lost me 2 points.
and
I
you,
was real tempted to go with Pikachu or Eevee, because they're
I should've
technically
just
starters.
They could've
fucking
technically started.
stuck.
That would've been a quick move.
and you technically got Electriking his first strike. Good job, Pro Tip.
Yay!
I mean, technically, he got it.
Yeah, I know. All right.
I got it myself.
Name a pure electric type. Means it cannot have any other typing except electric. All right. Let's go, Electriking. Why don't you start us off this time? Who'd you pick?
I picked Minen again.
Oh, Minen again. All right. See if that pays off twice in a row. Zantok, what'd you got? Pachirisu. We got the 2 Pika clones. And,
Not a. Oh, I guess yeah, it is.
yeah. And Protip, did you pick a Pika clone?
No, I went a little more creative, and I found one that actually surprised me because I thought it was part poison, but apparently it's not, and that is Pincurchin.
Pincurchin.
Oh yeah.
Also, he just called both of you not creative. I just want you to know I heard that.
I almost said Pincursion, so.
You're right. I may have tried targeting one of you on this one.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I may have tried to
I
get
knew it.
one of you ahead of time. Yeah,
Naughty bitch.
I
Best
tried.
Pokemon there is, right there.
I actually was like,
That's not about.
I also was like, he's not purely electric, right? And
Yeah,
then,
he is.
and I looked, I'm like, I for some reason thought he had dark or something else. And I was like, oh no, he's purely electric. All right, put him in.
He's the best one there is. Best Pokemon right there on the screen.
All right.
Anybody else who says otherwise is stupid.
Name a trade Evo Pokemon. It has to be the final form.
That's what I was going to ask to clarify.
Yep.
Okay, good.
This could be one that is purely a trade or holding a trade item to trade. All right, Electriking, why don't you start us off? You tried to get away with Electivire, however, Electivire was already eliminated as a possibility because of me last round. So who did you pick instead?
Magnezone.
Magnezone. How do you get Magnezone again? What do you trade? Is it just a regular trade?
Magnezone's not a trade.
I don't say. I don't
Is he
think
not?
it is. No, you have to
No.
level them up near
No,
something.
it's
right?
either an electric zone or in modern generations a thunderstone.
Is it
Huh.
really? Okay, let me.
Yeah.
let me pick some-
You need to pick something different. Good thing I started there. I had a
There you
feeling.
go.
The
All right.
other ones
Whoop.
I knew for
Whoop.
sure.
Oh wait, I was about to say move on to the other two, but you can't.
Nope, can't do that. You cheater.
Okay, this is the only one I really know. Machamp.
Machamp. All right, Zantok, why don't you go?
Escavalier.
Escavalier. And that leaves Protip.
I went back to Ceruledge.
Ceruledge again. Well, the trade Evo Pokemon I chose. Caesar.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Give that Scyther a Metal Coat and boom, you got a Caesar.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Is Ceruledge true?
The Ceruledge is not a trade Evo. You have to trade to get its item,
Oh, that's right.
but it's not a
Is that
trade
all it
Evo.
was?
Yeah, you just use the item on it.
Oh,
You had to trade for the item.
right.
Yeah, because
It
the
was
item
gonna
is
be the
only
version
in
or what?
Violet. So if you want to have it in Scarlet, you have to get the item from somebody that has Violet.
That doesn't sound right. Because I played Violet, but why do I feel like I still had to trade for it?
You have to get
know.
if you need Ceruledge in your game that doesn't have Ceruledge, you had to trade probably someone with Armor Rouge.
Well,
So what I'm going to do in this case,
Remembering
because we
wrongly,
missed
I
it, if Protip ties with somebody at the final, he takes the lower position.
sure, that seems fair.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because I missed it as well. All right, I'll just put the tie thing there. Okay.
We had two fuck ups on that one.
Yep. That is true. Maybe I should give strikes for those instead if you mess up. But anyway, we'll figure it out later. This is our first.
This is version 1.
Version 1.
Things will be fixed later.
Yeah. All right. Name an apple in Evo.
Oh, there's
They're
not
like
many of
three?
those, right?
There are
There's technically 4. One of them evolves. Yes, but there's 4 things.
Yep, and they're all involving apples. There's like a whole bunch of different types of apples that you gotta throw at it in order to make it evolve. It's a whole thing.
That's not at all how that works.
You just pelt apples at the applin until it, evolves.
But depending on your rule, there's either 3 or 4 possible answers.
I believe there were 4 different ones.
Okay.
Because he couldn't pick applin, because it had to be one it evolved into.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like one of them evolves into something else. That's why I wasn't sure if you were going to count that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It would have been fine. All right. So why don't we start with Protip this time?
Oh, this might be the edge case he was talking about. I didn't read very closely. I picked Hydrapple.
Okay. Electriking,
Flapple.
Flapple, and Zantok.
I did Hydrapple.
Ooh, we got 2 Hydrapples. Zantok and Protip both receive a strike.
Come on, Mikey, pick Hydrapple.
If I
He picked Appleton. He picked Appleton.
if I pick Hydrapple, they both get 2 more strikes, getting Electriking further into the lead. But I picked Flapple as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to target me because you know I like Appleton.
I picked Flapple. I thought maybe people would think I'd pick Appleton or Hydrapple, and I thought I would pick one that maybe wasn't going to be as picked as much. So, all right, with that, we'll just kind of give us our current standing. Zantok has 6 strikes, Protip has 5 and has to lose a tie, and Electriking has 3.
Closer than I thought, actually.
Yeah. That one closed up the gap a little bit. I need you to name a box art Pokemon. So from the main games,
Okay.
main series games, it has to be a Pokemon that is the main one on the cover.
I've only heard of one Pokemon in my life, as it turns out.
All
I'll
right.
say the name of the possible answer. I was like, wait, no, don't say it.
All right. Why don't we start with Electriking? Who'd you pick?
Pokemon Yellow.
So that would be
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Yep. Zantok, who'd you pick?
I went with White Kyurem from Pokemon White 2, as opposed to Black Kyurem.
Okay. And Protip, who'd you pick?
So I was trying to remember what the damn lion from Pokemon Sun was called, and it just wasn't coming to me. So instead I wrote
Solgaleo.
Solgaleo. Wait, who'd you pick?
Pikachu.
Bitch!
And with that, Electriking and Protip both take strikes. Let's see if I picked Pikachu. I chose Charizard.
See, that was the other one I was thinking of, but I was like...
I was
surely
seeing
I
who would
can't
be
really have Charizard.
basic. I was
Yeah,
seeing...
I'm glad we
mean-
all passed that, even though 2 people said Pikachu.
Right,
I mean, Pikachu's pretty basic, but like Pokemon
Yeah.
Yellow isn't basic.
right. I thought I'd try and knock out someone with a basic answer there.
Well, I should have gone with the like slight twist with like Venusaur.
Yeah, could have.
Oh, that would have been a good call.
Yeah, that would have been a possibility. I don't want a Pokemon this time. I need a Pokeball. And I want, for this particular one, I'm not counting Legend Arceus type Pokeballs. These are just
That's
some
probably bad.
just some normal
Yeah.
Pokeballs, you know. All right, we have our. Ooh, someone's typing. Maybe changing something. Never mind. You're last for that. All right. Pro tip: you can start this round.
I went with the one that I always think is called the Dusk Ball, but is in fact called the Moon Ball.
Moonball. Yeah,
I
one of them that
almost
is
picked
almost useless for most things.
Right.
Zantok, what'd you pick?
Timer Ball.
Timer Ball. I never have luck with that one. It also never seems to work for me very well.
It's because you gotta wait like 20 turns before it's effective.
Yeah. And every time I try, I'm like, this thing's stupid. Electriking, what did you pick?
Because you love balls in your mouth. Love ball.
Love Ball.
Oh my god.
That one I think I've only ever used effectively like once, and it was because I needed something to evolve right away, so I was like, that one. I chose and almost got Pro Tip, but I chose
yeah.
Dusk Ball.
I'm glad I
Dusk Ball.
looked it up first to see what it looked like. I was like, the Dusk Ball's the one with the moon on it, right? I googled it and I was like, oh, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Dang.
It would have been funny if you just studied and be like, wait, that's the dust ball?
Right.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Like,
Oh.
I'm like, that's not the.
Aw, dang it. You avoided getting strikes on that one. However, I would like you to name me an Ultra Beast. Name an Ultra Beast. So, honorable mention. What does that mean?
That's just the one that I want to draw attention to, even though I'm not actually picking it as my choice, because I think there's no way someone else isn't picking it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't you start with your choice, and then tell me who you almost picked.
Sure. So the one I'm actually going with is Kartana,
Okay.
and the one that my heart wanted to choose is Buzzwole.
Okay. Okay. Electriking, who'd you pick?
Alright, I'm gonna read everything I sent to you. Buff Boy, get shredded. Buzzwole, I don't give a fuck if it gives me strengths. Get shredded, bro. Beefcake.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Good job.
And then Zantok.
I fucking hate Buzzwole with a passion, but I decided to pick the one that I think is the goofiest. It is my personal favorite, Cephalon.
I almost went with that one.
You know, the Z sound is such a fun sound. And,
Here it comes.
you know, so I also chose one that had some Z's in it, but it was Guzzlord, not Buzzwole.
Oh, the other one that I almost picked. There was some contention.
I thought about picking Buzzwole, thinking I'd get Electriking with it, and I'm like, you know what? He's gonna switch to not get the strike, and he's gonna go Guzzlord to switch out.
Buzzlord was my second option.
I know, and then you were like, you know what? I'm sticking with it. And so if you wouldn't have stuck with it, I had you. Ah, all right, good dodge there, and you dodged twice on that one there, Electriking.
Yeah.
All right. I this one, you know, I need you to name me a Pokemon with 4 letters in its name.
I'm just gonna go with the first thing that came to mind, regardless of what happens.
There are not a ton of them.
Yeah, I also didn't want to look into like, okay, what else?
Yeah, this would be one that you can just first thought's probably good. So for this, I am allowing them to look things up if they don't know something off the top of their head, like Ultra Beast, for example. If you can't name an Ultra Beast, then you can look one up, obviously. But in this case of like name one that has 4 letters in it, you could probably think of one.
I mean,
I don't think there's many,
As they
actually.
are like, oh wait, hold up.
I've already submitted an answer, but I'm doing a quick scroll. I don't think there's a lot.
I want to say it was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm going to go with one that I plausibly could have come up with if I had really thought about it for a while.
Okay.
But I don't know if I actually was going to come up with any.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Geez,
yelling
Electriking,
at-
stop yelling at me your Pokemon's name. Let's go, Protip. Who did you name?
Oh, it's Seal.
Seal. Zantok, who'd you pick?
Seal.
Oh, all right. There's a strike for Zantok and Protip. Electriking, did you also name Seal?
No, I did Aron.
Aaron. He's got like he was one of them when we used to play Pixelmon that you could hear him all the time. You're like, God, that's high pitched.
Oh yeah.
I chose Onyx.
Ah.
Onyx was
Unexpected.
my choice. Yeah, unexpected.
Nice.
Ah.
Yeah.
Boo.
Onyx.
You can boo me, but I'm still right.
All right, this one there's not many options. I need
I
you
don't know
to.
what a Titan Pokemon is.
You might have to look it up. Titan Pokemon
There are
comes
only
from.
5, and they're from the new games.
Yep, they are from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Name a Titan Pokemon. So in this particular case, this would be where Electriking could look one up, where Zantok could
Right.
not because he knows them.
I do. I mean, I could still look them up. Nothing's stopping me. You don't have me locked in your
Trying to
basement.
get at least one of you here with mine because, you know, there's not many options.
Oh,
5
I'm
maybe?
sorry. I lied. There are 6.
Yeah,
I
5 or
forgot
6.
about something.
Yeah, there's 6.
I think there might be 8.
The Titans?
No, there are 6. Well, actually,
Technically, you could consider a 7th.
7th. Yeah.
I'm looking at 8.
Well, the cover.
No,
in a second.
I see what he means. I see what he means.
I see 7.
I don't think people would typically think about that, but I see what you mean.
Well, Electriking, why don't
Absolutely.
you pick one and then we can debate them in a little bit here.
Okay.
Or so I'm looking at either 9 or 10, depending on how you're
Whoa.
classifying.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Okay. So let's go over your guys' answers first. Protip, why don't you go first?
I went with one that I think is just one of the most fun to say, which is Dondozo.
Okay. Dondozo. Electriking, who'd you pick?
Great Tusk.
Great Tusk and Zantok.
I went with Orthworm again.
All right.
I figured nobody else would.
So, what is the list you got for Titans here?
So
Alright,
there's
mine-
Gloff, Bombardier, Orthworm, Great Tusk and Iron Swords are version exclusive.
Yeah.
Dondozo is technically a false Titan, and Tatsuki is the real one, but they're both in the same fight. But then the Teal Mask, the Loyal 3, they're not technically Titans as far as the main game story is concerned, but they are fought the same way with the Titan-like battles, Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pheasantivity.
Yeah, I would not have counted them as Titan Pokemon. They have an actual name for those three.
They're all on Wikipedia under Titan Pokemon.
Weird.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
They
none of
are.
you picked them, and I didn't either. I picked Cloth.
I love Gloff.
I just went with the
Such
first one. First Titan. On that one. Thought maybe I'd get one of you just being like, yeah, sure, the first one. Why not? I don't like Cloth's design. I really don't.
I love him.
I hate him.
Put him in Smash.
All right, you know what? Name a Pokemon you would eat.
I was going to type Gloff, but I can't.
Now, with this, there may be... This is kind of going to be one of those where I may say no to an answer you pick, just because, like, you can be like, oh, I'm going to eat this one. I'm like, no, you're not. Something that you think could be edible that makes sense to me.
Who was that psychic type you mentioned earlier?
I don't know.
Gardevoir?
Yeah, that's the one.
You would eat Gardevoir? Oh.
Oh.
Nope. 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 No.
Can I pick Machamp again?
All right, we have our...
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you. Is the one I'm...
Okay.
I'm
Alright,
like,
I kind of figured.
mm,
Alright.
I'd say he picked Knackley. That one you could lick. I'm not gonna say you could eat.
I mean, you could eat them on things. Grind them up in a little
Yeah, I'm making you repick.
I was trying to find this another sneak one, but I was like, I think you'd neglect that one, or you'd reject that one too.
I could see the argument for Knackley, but you know, if you like had to eat
Actually,
the whole thing, like
I'll
you
do
know,
this.
like yikes. Okay, fair. All right, that's better. Why don't you go first? Because I made you repick.
Magikarp.
Magikarp. All right, fish dinner. That's fair. Speaking of fish dinner, Protip, what'd you pick?
Oh, it's Katsugiri. Since I was still looking at the...
Similar realm. You know, what with seafood. Speaking of seafood, Electriking, who'd you pick?
Lobster, baby. Crawdon.
Crawdon. So we got lobster, sushi, and just fish. All right, all three water types. Good answers.
Can I? Oh, never mind. Oh, damn
Yeah.
it. I was gonna make a prediction what you might have said, but obviously I was wrong.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking seafood would be safe since Mike doesn't
Yep,
like
me
it.
too. Me too.
I was thinking Miltank and Togepi are so obvious. 'Cause
Yeah.
You have cow, you have egg.
Yeah. So I necessarily that I would eat. I just know in the Pokemon world that particular one is always like I typed in Magikarp food and there was so many when I was looking for a picture. I was like, yeah, that'll work. That was more of the anime shout out there. But Zantok does take 2 strikes, so oh boy.
Could have said artillery.
Oh yeah, I could have said Octillery. That would have been a good choice. Name an evolution. Zantok did call this was going to probably be one of them, and you were right. Name an evolution.
You're gonna tell me no, but I'm still gonna type it in.
Oh god, yeah, Eevee does not count as an evolution. No, you're not making a big fluffy Eevee. It's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, Mega's Gigantamax. They might have their own time, but not now.
I'm trying to like predict, and then I'm like working myself in circles.
Yeah.
I'll say there's not a ton of options with the evolutions.
There are not.
There are not.
There are 8.
And they're all so good. I love my evolutions.
Yeah, debatable.
I mean, there's a couple that are like definitely.
There are 3 that are easy bottom 3,
All right.
and
well,
people will murder me for what my choices on bottom 3 are.
all right, Zantok, why don't you start then?
I want to hear what his bottom 3 are.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with that. My bottom 3, not necessarily in this order, are Sylveon, Espeon, and Umbreon. And I know people fucking love Espeon and Umbreon, and I don't like their looks.
I
don't
agree
like
with the
Sylveon.
Sylveon.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
agree
we're
with
not-
Sylveon.
I do not like Sylveon that much.
I was gonna say, like, Flareon is such a disappointment because he seems like he should be cool and is just bad. And kind of same with
Yeah.
Jolteon, especially in first gen.
Fuck
Jolteon
you.
is real bad.
Design-wise, like Flareon, effectiveness wise, like
Who'd have thought this round would be the one that has the most fights over it? All right. Zantok, why don't
I'm
you
not
start with
shocked.
who you actually picked?
Glaceon.
Glaceon. All right.
Badass.
Electriking, you know what? I'm going to have you go next because your guess got called basic. So,
Yeah, Jolteon. #1, baby.
I knew it.
That speed stat. Ugh.
Protip, why don't you go?
Anything with it. I went with Leafeon.
Leafeon.
Oh, that's what.
So,
One
you
that I
know,
figured was supposed to get forgotten.
I for this particular one, I was like, I tried to hit Zantok early on with Cubone. I tried to hit Electriking with Electivire.
And he picked Umbreon.
I thought I might try and get Protip because he has Umbreon as his little picture. So I
It was
tried.
my favorite evolution.
I tried to get each of you. I tried to get once. That was my, the goal there. But
And
all
you
three
failed.
dodged. So each one of you, I did have a special one put in there to try and get you. So, dang.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting me on that one. I knew that was a bait.
Yeah, those were baits. The rest weren't baits. That one was a bait. All right. Good dodge, everybody. Good dodge. I want you to name a baby Pokemon. And no, this is not just like the first one of the line. It has to be a baby.
Just a little guy type.
Just a little guy.
I think I'd consider that.
Your answer's fine. Zantok, your answer's fine as well.
Okay, I thought. Okay. I was about to get evidence.
Actually, all three of yours are all fine. So let's go through them. Zantok, you can start with your baby.
Oxel.
Toxel. Protip, who's your baby?
Happiny.
Happini. Electriking, who's your baby?
Elekid.
Oh, kid. So, funny enough, I considered all three of those when I was making this one. I was like, oh, I could do Happini. I'm like, I don't know if anyone will pick Happini. I was like, Toxel. Toxel? I don't know if anyone will pick Toxel. Oh, kid. I'm like, they might try and dodge me here. So, I ended up going with Togepi.
Is that
Classic.
Hey, with food.
I went with the classic baby. I thought maybe I'd get one of you to switch there. And I thought this picture was cute. Alright, you dodged. You dodged for the babies. Alright, name a flying type mid-evolution. So it has to have 3 in its line, and it has to be the middle one.
Do I go with my first thought?
I was really worried when we were going to go through this that we'd end with, like, everyone having no strikes, and I was going to be really sad and be like, it didn't work very well. However, we have a decent amount of strikes going. Zantok currently at 9. Electriking at 4. Protip at 7.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with first thought.
All right, we have our answers in here. Let's go with Protip first this time.
So initially, I picked one that I had actually never heard of, and I was like, that's a little dishonest. I should probably go with one I would actually think
Who
of.
did you have originally?
Trumbeak,
Oh, okay.
which is a neat one. I liked that line, but I had never heard it. Like, I knew of Toucannon, basically.
All right.
So then I went with the most basic and went with Pidgeotto.
Fair enough. Zantok, who'd you go with?
Tranquil.
Oh, Electriking, who'd you go with?
Tranquil.
There's another strike for Zantok and Electriking, both picking Tranquil.
God damn it.
I wanted to pick one that nobody else would.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah. How did that work?
Who would pick Tranquil? Boom, boom. Both hit Tranquil. There's quite a few
thought
options
Dark
still.
was like, no, Wayofftrail's gonna do dart tricks. He's gonna try and get us.
You think I did Dartrix?
Yeah, if you did Rowlet, fuck yeah.
I did Staravia.
I almost did Staravia.
Staravia. And
Staravia.
you know who I had it between?
Tranquil.
Yeah. I had it between Staravia and Tranquil.
I was gonna do Fletchinder. I should have.
Oh.
Oh,
I had recently got a shiny Staravia, so it was kind of in my head at the point in my head. So, all right. We got another strike there. It's getting, oh, Zantok's a bit out there, but Electriking and Protip are kind of getting close. We are getting closer to the end, though. However, I need you to name a purple Pokemon. Now, the majority of it has to be purple. You can't get away with, oh, it's got a little purple in its eye. No, I need the full thing to be purple. In fact, there is actually a color guide to what color that Pokemon actually is. Yeah, they actually have official colors, weirdly.
Are they all like Crayola specific?
No, it's like, like a red, yellow, black, like things like that.
Red, blue, yellow, green, black, brown, purple, gray, white, pink.
Yep, so I am just quick. Gotta check an answer. Who was this? Needs to repick. Because they picked a pink Pokemon. Electriking, you need to pick a new Pokemon. That is a pink Pokemon.
I disagree.
According to Bulbapedia, you have picked a pink Pokemon and you need to repick.
Like 75% of it is whatever.
I would love to know which one Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Masharna.
Yep.
That was one of the ones I was thinking of first, actually. So where on Bulbapedia do you sort by color?
I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah, if you scroll down on the right side, it is one of the last things in the main box for your Pokemon. Yeah, so this one I do have to do a little bit of checking on each answer here, so give me a moment.
Does this one count as purple?
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check.
Looks fucking purple.
I really hope it's not just to be difficult. All right, Bulbapedia, what do you say for this one?
There are some of these that I like.
That is a gray Pokemon. I need you to pick a purple Pokemon.
The fuck it is!
He picked Whirlipede. That is considered
is
a gray
as hell.
Pokemon.
That's
I gotta
not
agree with
gray.
Electriking here. That is purple.
I'm just saying,
That
you
is
gotta go by the
fucking
official
purple.
color this time.
All right. What about this one?
Officially purple ones that are very much pink.
Oh yeah, this was meant to be a interesting one. So hold on, I haven't checked Protip. I haven't checked Protip yet because I'm pretty confident in the fact that his is purple.
Mine is correct.
Okay, his is for sure purple.
Mine is for sure purple.
Like that, there was a reason I didn't pick red or orange because I almost picked orange just to because orange, but they tend to be really weird with those. Oh, I don't know why Electriking. I feel like this one is not purple. And
Orange isn't even one of the colors.
Yeah, I wanted to pick orange, but it's not.
Some of these are
Congrats, Electriking! You have picked a purple Pokemon.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That one is not purple.
They list green Vivillon as pink.
Well,
I think it's Vivillon in general. I think
It's not because right next to it is pink Vivillon.
Oh, weird. Well, since Electriking had such a hard time picking a purple Pokemon, what is your purple Pokemon?
Palkia.
Yeah, which I would have assumed would have been a white.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones I disagree with. I see it's listed there.
I disagree with all three of mine. I picked Palkia just because fuck it. It'll make it the fucking Masharna, which is 90% fucking purple, is pink, I guess.
That I do.
Whirlipede, which is 100% fucking purple, is gray. Oh, but the white Pokemon with purple stripes is purple? Okay.
I gotta say I agree with everything Electriking just said, and I don't normally say that.
Right. I do think Masharna could have been, but weird. It's weird. All right. Since we know what his was now, let's go with the one. So, Protip, I took forever to check yours because I was pretty confident yours was purple. Who'd you pick?
I want a Swallow.
Like, clearly purple. Like, obvious purple. Yeah.
Yeah, like Masharna.
And then Zantok was also pretty obvious purple to me compared to all of Electriking's. Zantok, who'd you pick?
Fuck you.
I picked the Pokemon that's my least favorite name. I fucking hate it. It's Poipole, which is just purple but weird.
Yeah, there's one that's literally pretty much purple.
Yeah.
All right, and I picked the first purple Pokemon that came to my mind as well. It wasn't pink, it was purple, you know. I went with Toxtricity.
Love Toxtricity.
I see that it lists like Grand Bowl as purple, and like that's clearly pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, yeah, there's some of these are bad.
Thankfully, that's the only one I did a color for today, so you're good. However, I do need you to name me a Paradox Pokemon.
Looking that up.
Paradox Pokemon are all Gen 9. So really, you kind of got two different paths you can choose here. You can choose ones from Violet, which would be the Iron ones, or you could pick one from Scarlet and go with one of the long ago ones that all have different names, because for some reason they went for Violet with all Iron, and then went for Scarlet to have all different names, which was ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna pick one, like, then they all should have been like all like something past name and then whatever.
Or ancient.
Almost all 2 words. I think they are all 2 words.
They all are 2 words. Technically, there are 2 that are not, but they do have a 2-word variant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of silly. Like, we could have really picked like yeah, ancient something would have been fine, or have all the Iron ones not have Iron in their name. You know, do something else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will tell you, no one went with one of the past Pokemon. You all picked an Iron form. So, let's go with Electriking. Who did you pick?
I picked Iron Boulder, because that one is lame.
All right. Zantok, who'd you pick?
I went with Iron Boulder because it's lame.
Protip, who'd you pick?
For once, I profit, or at least for now, by picking one that's cool as hell. I went with Iron Valiant.
Iron Valiant is pretty cool. Iron Boulder is pretty lame, and Iron Valiant is pretty cool. So that's a strike for Zantok and Electriking there. However, it's 2 for Protip, because I went with a cool one too.
Alright, Zantok, we profited there, we profited.
We did. We technically came out ahead.
You did, and let's just say, if I didn't pick Iron Valiant there, Protip and Electriking would have been very close. Very close. Alright. That was our Paradox. Iron Valiant is a cool one. Alright, name a Pokemon that starts with B. Name a Pokemon that starts with B. Now, with this one, obviously you don't need to look them up. You can just, whatever one pops into your head first. And then all 3 of you forget instantly any Pokemon that starts with a B.
No, I'm too immediately and I don't want to say them.
Alright, I'll say you were the last one. Seeing as you were the last one, why don't you go first this time?
Blissey.
Blissey. Protip, who'd you go with?
Bellsprout.
And Electriking.
Boulder.
There's a lot of...
Did Iron Boulder.
Right. There's a lot of B Pokemon names. Who would have thought? In fact, I chose a different one. I went with Basculin.
Nice.
I thought... I don't know why. It was when I said first one with a B. That was the first thing that popped in my head, Basculin.
First thing that popped to mind for me were Beedrill and Bulbasaur. I was like, oh, hell no. Everybody's going to be thinking about those guys.
I almost did Beedrill because I did it earlier.
I thought about doing the
Yep.
Gen 1 there, and I was like, you know, I feel like people are going to shy away from Gen 1 at this particular point in this thing, so I was like, I'll do a Basculin random throw. And I thought maybe it wasn't, well, like, I feel like Basculin kind of fades into the background a lot, so I thought maybe one of you would be like, yo, no one will pick him. Well, I was wrong there. I was right there. No one did pick him.
You're right.
All right, name me a gym leader. I would like a gym leader. There's a lot of options here, surprisingly. Oh, Jesus.
Not surprisingly.
All right. Let's go with Zantok. You can go first this time.
I went with Koga's replacement, Janine.
Janine. Pro tip, why don't you go next? I just can't with the Electriking's answers.
Oh, good. I went with the first gym leader, Brock.
Brock. Would I start the first quiz by picking the first gym leader? And Electriking, who did you pick?
Misty.
Yeah.
Technically, we all picked Yanto.
Yeah. I did
What
as well, unfortunately.
What I said was funny with it.
Except I went with Blaine.
Ah,
Because he's evil. I don't know
only
why.
in the manga. In the manga, he is.
I don't know why. Blaine was on the mind. Just thinking about that guy all alone on Cinnabar Island. You know, doing his thing. All right. We're getting close to the end. I think there's
I knew
like
it.
maybe 2 or 3 more. But I need you to name me a Pokemon that Ash Ketchum in the anime had.
I was thinking about this earlier.
I mean, he's had a few.
He has had a few
had a few.
Pokemans. Yeah. He's had a few Pokemans. All right, I have everyone's answers. Electriking, you can start this time.
I went with the Pokemon he caught multiple of, Tauros.
Tauros.
Good call.
Yeah,
All right.
heard of them.
Caught like 30 of them, didn't he?
He
He did.
did catch like
Or
30
was
of
it
them.
20?
Something like because
20
they
or
were gonna
30.
like go off a cliff or something, right?
It was from the Safari Zone. He just... Oh, no, it is 30. Yeah, he got 30 from the Safari Zone.
Yeah.
But they skipped that episode, never got localized that he caught him all.
Because
So
he
just
had because
episodes later-
he had a gun.
Yeah, because the
Oh.
Safari Zone guy put a gun in Ash's face. It's like, oh, we can't do that. And then a later episode's like, hey, look, oh, Tauros. Like, where the fuck did you get a Tauros from? Right?
All right. Well, in that case, Protip, you can go next.
I went. I took the category name a bit literally and went with one that he had but no longer has, and that is Butterfree.
Oh, early on.
Oh, my heart.
All right.
Wait, he came back?
Zantok.
Butterfree didn't.
So what if I would have said Caterpie?
That would have been illegal.
In this particular case, it's the line because they evolve. You know, it depends on. So I would have counted the line as an answer here.
Oh, okay.
So if
I
you
get it.
said Caterpie, I would have counted that as Butterfree as well.
Okay.
Might want to clarify ones like that in the future.
Yeah, it's all right. I can also do whatever I want on the host.
That's fair.
I'm the DM. I do what I want.
From my perspective. I said Slagoo.
Slagoo. All right.
You did not.
He
What
did.
the fuck?
I also went with 30 of Ash's Pokemon.
Oh shit!
I also did.
When I said it was a good call, apparently it was not.
Yeah, I also decided to go with 30 of Ash's Pokemon as well. Tauros. Oh, same wavelength, brother. Not the time you wanted it.
Nope.
All right. Name a Rotom form. And you cannot pick base Rotom or like phone case Rotom. I want an actual one. Nice try.
In case it's so good.
Phone case is pretty good. I can't wait for them just to make it be one at some point, but you know, it's fine. Actually, one that does get a Pokedex spot. And Bulbapedia, it has its own spot. No, Pokedex does not have its own spot. Zantok tried it too, pro tip.
It is the Pokedex. What are the actual ones?
I really wish they would retire that for the next mainline game. Like, come on.
They're
I'm
dumb.
so tired of Rotom Phone.
Alright. Looks like we have our answers. It's funny. Zantok, I'm gonna have you go first because you're the only one that actually used the correct name for yours.
That's right, bitches. Rotom fan.
Rotom fan. Alright, pro tip, why don't you go next?
I just wrote washing machine.
Rotom Wash.
Rotom wash. Electriking, what'd you put?
Lawnmower.
Rotom Mo.
It's just funny, the fan and then just these, you know, the two things. I'm like, that's pretty funny. And then, yeah, there are not a ton of them. I think there are five.
5.
Total.
There's also Fridge and Heat.
Yes.
Or no, Frost and Heat. Frost and Heat.
Yes.
Damn it.
But I went Rotom fan.
You know, I wasn't gonna win news. I've been in last for a while. It's whatever.
Actually, the gap had closed a little,
What?
but that doesn't help. That does not help your cause. All right, name me a Mega.
we've had a few leaked for the new games.
They do not count because I don't know them.
Damn it. Bitch.
Name me a Mega Pokemon. We're also kind of, as we're trying this for the first time, we're also kind of getting, like, the length of the episode. I honestly thought we'd be done by now. So,
yeah, you said 30 minutes.
I thought, honestly,
you told me there
it
were
would
30 categories. Like, yeah, you're wrong.
I thought it would take 30 minutes. But, so now we know. Now we know. I just went to look at Protips and said washing machine. I'm like, he doesn't have a what?
Mega washing machine.
Right.
Dude, but yes.
All
It's turned into a
right.
whole laundromat.
Pro-tip, I'll let you go first because I was looking at yours anyway.
I went with Mega Kangaskhan.
Mega Kangaskhan. Zantok, you can go.
I was like a KM erupt.
Ooh, close. And Electriking.
I went with Mega Obama Snow.
Mega Obama Snow. All three different. I also had a different one. I went Mega Lucario.
Nice.
Thought maybe someone would go with
Basic.
that one. Yeah.
Basic.
I thought I was trying to get somebody there. I
I
know.
like picking Gyarados for your shiny.
Clarification question: would Charizard X and Y and Mewtwo X and Y count as separate?
I would just probably counted them together.
Okay.
Just because.
It's name a Pokemon with a Mega, then not
Yeah,
Mega.
with a Mega. It's
Okay.
fine. Name a water legendary. Now,
Ooh.
Suicune can't be done.
He's also. Is he water type? I think he's
Yes,
ice.
he's water, pure water.
He's not ice?
No,
What the hell?
Some typings, don't make sense. It's okay. It's really not, but it is okay.
Mine's
wait, aren't there only two? Or, wait, hold on, is that one the third one? No, yeah, that's not water.
This could be interesting.
Oh no! Oh shit! There are.
I was like, I'm pretty
there's
sure
three.
there were three.
There
If I
are
remember
three.
correctly. All right,
You're
we
on
have
the
our
good page.
answers here. Let's go with Electriking. You can start us off.
I went pretty basic. Kyogre.
Okay. Zantok, what'd you go with?
I want the one that I forgot, and that's Urshifu Rapid Strike style.
I had to look up. I'm like, that's right. Urshifu is one of his styles. Is a different typing for some reason. He's water type for whatever reason.
I don't know what
Fighting
that
Dark
is.
and Fighting Water. It's a Gen 8 legendary. from
He's
the
like
DLC.
literally like a fighting thing, and for some reason they give him water type.
Yeah, but he's a fighting bear.
And
He's
Protip,
listed as
what'd you pick?
Dark thing I'm looking at.
He's dark and water, or he's got different.
Fighting Dark and Fighting Water.
Style change his typing or something?
No, it's whenever you when you
Oh, there-
evolve, you choose which one.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
see.
think Mikey. I think you picked the same as me.
Well, anyway, yeah, I also went basic because I was confused by all these alternate form things. So I went Kyogre as well.
So that's a strike for Electriking and Protip, both picking Kyogre.
No.
And that's two more for them.
Oof.
I
Bless.
also chose Kyogre.
I didn't know any other ones.
And he's kind of the water. Like,
Yep,
the
that's-
only other one was Tapu Fini from Gen 7.
That's
Yeah, I
also
wasn't
kind of
gonna
why I
get that.
picked him. Isn't Lugia water?
No,
You
Psychic
fucking think
Psychic
so?
Flying.
You live at the bottom of the ocean, but no.
Oh, that's right. No, I was thinking
Psychic
of
Flying.
yeah, that's right. So with that, our scores are getting real close. It's gonna come down to the wire, I think here, and we're getting. I think this might be the last one.
There's 5 of these. No, there's 6 of these.
Name a Reggie, please.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, I got you. Ooh. All right. I would like Zantok to go first, but you need to read the whole thing you submitted, please.
Damn it, that means I'm fucked. I said Reggie Drago, Electriking won't know it.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
Electriking, what'd you pick?
Regieleki.
So, see, they were introduced at the same time, so he does know them. Pro tip, what'd you pick?
Regirock.
Regirock. Alright, let's see here. We got Regice.
Nice.
So you all managed to skate by
That's my favorite.
without one there. Alright. So with that, we're going to go over the results. Let's see, I need to count them up because those last few got kind of close. Alright, let me get...
So we have montages of mythical Pokemon, the Gen 7 starters, the evolutions, the Gen 6 gym leaders, and then just a random assortment of Kanto Pokemon. Wait, no, these are Ash's Pokemon. No, he didn't have a.
I just picked some random photos that worked. So, with that, we ended up getting... Everyone was in double digits for strikes, which I was a little... at first, I thought we were not going to have that many.
6 rounds with that, I think that was worrying.
Right. Yeah, first couple rounds, like, oh, maybe this won't work. But we do have a winner. But I'm going to start with third place. Taking last place today with 13 strikes. Zantok takes last.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you for those. However, one of the other two only beat you by 1, Zantok.
I feel good about that.
And the other one only beat you by 2.
I feel good about
Wow.
So it was 11, 12, and 13.
Oh, sheesh.
That was a lot closer than I thought.
That was a lot closer than I thought. Especially after that first couple rounds where Zantok and Protip were getting bullied. However, winning with 11 strikes today, our winner, Electriking, takes the win.
Thank you.
With
First
11.
off, I would like to thank God for giving me the strength to be here today.
So, Arceus, thank you. We do this in your name.
Tajiri, thank you.
Protip, you got 12. And if there would have been a tie, you would have lost because I had that one technically weird, little thing. But it didn't end up mattering, so it's fine. But yeah, I want to thank my 3 contestants for stopping in today, Zantok, Protip, and Electriking. And let us know if this is something that you guys want to see more of, if you found it interesting. We might tweak the format a little bit, maybe make it a little shorter. Or if you guys like it like this, let me know. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and congratulations again to Electriking on his win. It's one of the first times I think you won in one of my games that I made.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, if only people would vote for you, right?
Shut up, Blister.
Hey, I voted for you.
Thank you.